Fala galerinha, beleza meus queridos, teu amigo de sempre, Arena aqui. A gente vai continuar com a continuação da nossa gameplay de Tales of Arise. Então bora lá, seguir a história. Já tem uns 2 dias já que eu não jogo esse jogo. Eu joguei muito esse jogo, eu tenho um jogo programado até pro dia 26. Eu tinha que descansar um pouco, cara. Eu tava jogando isso daqui muito, mas muito mesmo. E eu ainda acredito que faltam uns 10 vídeos, tá ligado? Pra poder terminar esse jogo. E olhe lá. Isso aqui é o quê? Isso aqui a gente vai fazer um vídeo à parte. A gente vai fazer esses vídeos aqui quando a gente voltar lá pra terra natal. Beleza? Então, bora lá, bora seguir. Poção de vida nunca é demais, né?
Maori, I...
Don't talk. I have to do this. I gave you my word that I'd help you return to Dana. The next time you open your eyes, you'll be home.
But you...
My place is here with my people. I still have a duty to fulfill. I'm sorry for what you've endured. Renan never should have dragged you into this. It's not your burden to bear.
But...
The mask contains a sedative. It should keep your mind from tearing itself apart any further. Let yourself go to sleep. This should help with the pain. Time to go, Elfin. Farewell.
Farewell.
Maori...
His injuries are worse than I thought. Short-term treatment isn't going to cut it. I'll have to switch the healing pod to long-term hibernation mode. The chance of surviving hibernation's less than 10%? And worse, long-term use of the mask carries a high risk of damaging his mind and nervous system. But... If I don't head back, Lennigus will be nothing but ashes, and this starship along with it. I don't know if I can fulfill my promise to you, Alphen. But if doing this will grant you even the slightest chance, I have to try. I hope it's enough.
Nossa, tanto a chance. Diga I love you.
Please, live for me, Alphen.
Tanto as chances dele sobreviver na hibernação, as chances das consequências com a máscara eram grandes, né,
That vision.
cara? de
It
darem
must have been
certo.
from when Naori helped Alphen escape Lenegus.
She sure went above and beyond the call of duty.
Even with Lenegus crumbling down around her, she chose to stay put with her people.
So that's why you lost your memories and sense of pain, and why you were asleep for that whole time. It was all the result of one
Princesa,
agonizing decision Naori
acorda,
made to
filha.
save your
Tá tendo
life.
sonho ruim aí.
Yeah. If it weren't for her, I wouldn't even be alive today. I owe her everything. More than I could ever hope to repay.
Now that you know how she felt, how do you plan on honoring her wishes?
She kept her promise. If the Renan people she fought so desperately to protect are at risk from a malevolent force, then I owe it to her to carry on her fight. Naori was the one who put that mask on me, and made me Iron Mask.
She did it to prevent your soul from tearing itself apart. She knew you might lose your memories and sense of pain as a result. But more than anything, she wanted you to survive. And you did.
Provavelmente vai ter um boss aqui no meio, hein? Ou não. Eu tô pobre, cara, de tanta guloseima pesada que eu comprei ali, mas valeu muito a pena. É 3.000 de HP pra todos os personagens, mano.
This place. We've seen this in one of Naori's memories.
Of course. After 300 years, this is where it was held. The spirit channeling ceremony. This is
Princesa.
where the Renaissance was.
So this is the place where you and Naori...
Transaram
The
pela primeira
Renaissance
vez.
isn't here now. Nor is the Red Woman, it seems.
I know it's difficult, Alphen, but there will be time to dwell on the past later. For now, we need to keep moving. Come on.
Naori.
What is this? Is it the work of Dana's will again?
It's been a year since the ceremony. That day, I shut away inside of myself the power that caused Alphen to lose control. Since then, my visions of the future have grown more and more fearsome.
Is this another memory? No, it's different this time. It's like she's speaking directly to us.
What we did back then. Not so much as a day passes when I don't think about it. About what was done to us. All in the name of a ceremony. The purpose of which we were never even told. As Sovereign, they linked Alphen's consciousness to Lenegus itself. The Renis Alma was intended to control his power, lest anything should slip through its cracks. That day, as Maiden, my role was to temper his power. I was meant to guide it forth, and give shape to the strength inside of him.
Linked to Lenegus itself? But then, everything that's been happening...
But that power showed me a vision. A vision of oblivion. When I realized that vision was a prophecy of the apocalypse we were about to unleash, I couldn't go through with it. But without a maiden, the ceremony was doomed. Alphen lashed out, his consciousness no longer his own. I did what I could. Using my abilities as the maiden, I tried to seal that power away inside of me. But it was too late. Lenegis had already been brought to its knees. Thousands upon thousands of lives so cruelly snuffed out. All because of me. Because of what I had done. With the destructive force now slumbering inside of me, I knew I had to find a way to dispose of it. Anything to make up for my failure. But I didn't know how. Especially since that power was astral energy itself. In which case, ironically enough, the Renis Alma seemed to be my best bet. That, at least, would hold the astral energy dormant. Assuming that no malevolent third party got to it first. With the Sovereign and Maiden's combined power, perhaps I could shift the chaotic energy inside me into the Renis Alma instead. That's what I hoped, but alas, it was not to be. The Renis Alma was lost, and Alphen the Sovereign was in a starship bound for Dana. My only choice was to seal away the destructive force inside of me using my powers as the Maiden, to buy the world what little time I could. The time needed for a new Renis Alma to be crafted, and for a new Sovereign to appear. Even if by doing so, it meant I would be passing the curse on to my descendants as well. Please, forgive me. I never meant to burden the future world with this threat too. I only wish that there was something more I could have done.
Bem explicado agora o motivo da Shione ter os Thorn, né? Os espinhos. Passada da ancestral dela para manter o
That
apocalipse.
message just now, was it directly from Naori? Or was it the Danan voice speaking through her?
Haha, eles mudaram de roupa. Gostei.
What?
Mas aí a gente perde a mini saia.
These are the clothes that Naori and I wore during the ceremony 3 centuries ago.
So you're saying this is the Maiden's outfit?
That's right. These clothes are designed to resonate with the Sovereign and Maiden's abilities. They focus and enhance them.
And they appeared now because...
Naori must have left them here for the new Sovereign and Maiden, knowing the day would come when they would need them in their fight against the Thorns.
These outfits are directly linked to the answers we've been chasing this whole time. If they're here, it must mean it was Naori's will for us to find those answers as well.
Locating the Renis Alma would allow us to neutralize the dark astral energy inside Shion, thereby silencing her thorns. Is that what Naori's suggesting?
It makes sense. After all, Master Cores and Spirit Vessels are both able to prevent the astral energy inside them from developing sentience. By that logic, it would stand to reason that the Renis Alma would have the same ability on a larger scale.
We have a Maiden and Sovereign. Now all we need is the Renis Alma, and we'll finally be able to free you of your thorns. Shion.
It's possible? You really think so?
I do. We can rid you of your thorns and stop the world from falling to oblivion.
However, the spirit channeling ceremony already failed once. Even if our goal is different this time, we can't be sure the same thing won't happen again. We should take care not to be too optimistic.
You're right. It's the barest sliver of a chance. But if there's even the slightest hope it can work, I'm willing to stake everything I've got on it.
I know it's too early to let myself feel relieved, but I just can't seem to help it. Just hearing there's the slightest chance, even though I know the world's still in great peril. It's selfish of me, I know, but still.
No, it isn't. You found hope to believe in. It'd be strange if you weren't over the moon about it.
Rinwell's right. We can rid you of your curse and still save the world at the same time.
Thank you. Naori entrusted us with the fate of all humanity. Now, it's up to us to prove that trust was well placed.
Starting with a little game called Hunt the Renis Alma.
Yeah, we've come all this way. Now we just need to search Lenegis and Rena until we find it.
Yeah, we can protect the world and save Shion at the same time.
I too shall lend my services. My knowledge of Renan lore is bound to be a useful asset.
And they say modesty is dead.
Miracles just seem to follow wherever you go, huh?
How do you know it's me they're following? We're all in this together, Shion. You included. Now let's get moving, shall we? Last I heard, we had an apocalypse to stop.
Ganhamos uma ponta de esperança aí.
So Naori sealed away the power that made me lose control of myself. She stopped my rampage and saved my life. But then, that power she'd sealed away was passed down to you. I'm so sorry, Shion. It's my fault that you're cursed.
You're wrong. What happened to you was because of the ceremony, and Naori's attempt to stop Oblivion. You paid a heavy price for it, and then fell asleep for 300 years. The reason you lost your memories
is the reason for your curse.
The thorns.
It all leads back to them. But once they're gone, we can finally put an end to all this.
When my thorns are gone, I never dared to dream that such a thing could be possible. No. The truth is, I think maybe I've always been dreaming about a life without my thorns. The touch of my family, or playing with my friends, holding hands with Rinwell, or giving Law a deserved smack, embracing everyone. All the normal things
Dá a surra merecida no LoL.
I always wished I could experience them for myself, and finally know what they were like. Is it really okay for me to believe it can happen? I'm so scared of getting my hopes up. What if it doesn't work out in the end, and...
That's not going to happen. I'm here to make sure it won't. Forget fate or destiny or anything else. We're going to live a normal life. There are a lot of things you still want to do, right?
Yeah, you're right. It's such a strange feeling. I know that we've still got plenty of fighting up ahead, and it's for my sake, so I can live.
You're worth fighting for.
I believe you, Alphen.
Good. I'll keep on fighting. For as long as it takes. Until our future is finally in our hands.
Shione, novo emblema. Dá pra gastar, moleque, a rodo. Precisa, tempero e brasão místico. Tá, pera aí, a gente conseguiu uma arma. Ah, ó, interessante, bonita, né, cara, essa arma. Mas a gente vai usar Busted Sword. Ah, já foi automaticamente equipado, tá vendo essas armaduras? Bonita, né, cara? Essas duas roupas, tanto dela quanto a do Alf, ficou muito bonito. Muito bonito mesmo. Ok, bora lá. Onde é que a gente vai? Aqui.
That's quite some door, all right. This might finally be it. The heart of the beast.
We'll find the Renis Alma and the Red Woman inside, right?
After everything we've been through to get here, they damn well better be.
We'll probably be needing you to open this one for us, Sovereign.
Go for it, Alphen.
This is it, guys. Time to see what secrets are in store. Volron! He really was still alive.
And there's the Renis Alma. Then, is this another spirit channeling ceremony?
Wait, though. Something doesn't seem right here.
Once more, the powers must be united. Born from the fires of chaos, the world does seek its rightful state. All must be sacrificed in the heart of Rena, at the shrine of the
Tudo deve ser sacrificado em nome de Rana.
What has happened to him? He's lost himself, reduced to a mere cog in a machine.
Hey, look! Over there!
Isn't that the Maiden's crest?
Can it be that this entire chamber is meant to act as a substitute for the Maiden?
It looks like it's still running, but are we already too late to stop the ceremony?
If that's what caused Lenegis' transformation, then the purpose of the ceremony must have been to drain all the astral energy out of Dana.
But for what purpose? What could possibly need astral energy on that sort of scale?
I don't know. But whatever it is, I'll bet it's connected to those visions of oblivion. Regardless, we cannot stand by and let them steal Dana's energy. That said, we should retrieve the Renis Alma. Because right now, we need that most of all.
He's not gonna lunge at us out of nowhere, right?
Not the time, Law.
Alphen, look!
The Red Woman! So we finally found you. I have a lot of questions for you.
Wait!
What?
They all have the same face? How is that even possible?
Ó o capiroto, menino. Que coisa ruim. Hora de enfrentar o tinhoso. Da hora, hein?
What
Oh.
is this?
Who the hell are they?
It can't... Are they even people?
It's hard to know for sure, but I think they're the true rulers of Rena.
They're not feeling particularly talkative.
It's no use, Alphen. If we don't fight, we may as well be sitting ducks here.
Good point. Let's stop them before this gets out of hand. Be still!
Divine Savior! Little Fury! Burning Meteor Storm! Here's Evil! Meteor Storm! Where are you going?
Demon Fang!
Meteor Storm!
They're off, we're interrupted.
A chain between heaven and earth! Lightning strike! Water, hear my call! Here's the chain between heaven and earth! A wailing dancing lightning! Divine Arc Field! Arrow Squall! Magic is Arrow Squall! Blah blah blah! Meteor Storm! Burning hell! Blah blah blah! Meteor Storm! Not on my watch! Blah blah blah! Meteor Storm! Meteor! Lunar Corruption! Here's another! Magic is Arrow Squall! You get the gist! Ready and ready! You get the gist! Divine Savior! You get the gist! Divine Savior!
You picked the wrong fight!
Divine Savior! Where are you going? Divine Savior! Beast Assault! Denied! You get the gist! Arc Field! Lunar Corruption! You! Not in your dreams! You get the gist! Chain between heaven and earth! Render! Arrow Squall!
Caralho, todos eles entraram em superação juntos.
Meteor Storm! Blah blah blah! Divine Savior! You get the blazing Divine Savior! Blah blah blah! Meteor Storm! Shattering of pieces! Attack us! Make it rain! Kisara! Frozen!
Hammer!
Cyan Instant!
Não foi difícil.
Surrender! Fighting is useless now!
Do you think it's really over?
Nossa, espada aí bem dentro da cabeça.
Watch out! They've got something up their sleeve!
Auto explodes.
What?
It's self-destructed?
Alphen!
I'm okay. Just a little roughed up.
You had me worried there.
Who said you could touch that?
Damn it! He's awake!
I should have thought as much.
So you know this place?
Naturally, it was built for me after all. We'll save that for another time. More pressing is how I'm going to tear you apart.
Even after all this time, you still insist on hating me?
You cut me down. Sovereign or not, you will pay for that.
You're obviously bluffing. You can't even move right now.
Really, is that what you think?
Atira logo, Shione,
Did you
porra.
really think that such a petty device could hold me?
Are you going to claim it's because you're a ruler? Be it sovereigns or lords. In the end, they're all titles given by someone else.
Plus, what kind of ruler would spend all his time chasing Alf, who happens to be another sovereign?
Idle prattle. I proved my worth and the Sovereign's powers were granted to me.
Were they really? We already know the title of Sovereign doesn't denote royalty. It is but an overblown codename for those with a designated part to play in these proceedings. You mentioned before that you were not the only one stolen from Dana, correct?
Yeah. There were countless. And every one of them besides me died.
All of those failed experiments, and they still kept going back to Dana. There must have been some vital reason their subject had to specifically be a Danan. Then there were the records we found in the library, for you and Volron. They were locked 300 years apart, and yet the data they took from you was exactly the same. Which leads us to a single conclusion.
Then you mean Voron was kidnapped just like Alphen? But then he became a
slave from Dana. Just like us. Isn't that right? Volron.
So he posed as a Renan and caused all that suffering to his own people?
How could you? If you knew the pain of being a slave, why would you inflict that upon others?
Renan and Danan are meaningless distinctions. Me and everyone else. That is all that matters. I will stand above all others and take what is rightfully mine, starting with this.
Oh, tinhoso.
Woman.
Another one?
Give your master back on Rena this message. No one makes a fool of me. Let them know I'll make them suffer.
Don't do it!
Pois é. E a Shione lá com o rifle apontado e não atira não.
It's too late. You can't stay here.
We need to go. Alphen!
Só pegar espaço.
Go. But know I will be your shadow no matter where you try to run.
Let's go.
Never forget, I am the one who devours everything. Who answers to neither spirit nor man. My word is law. I am.
Ele fala que não segue as leis dos homens.
okay?
Não apareceu ali na legenda.
We'll be fine.
Is Volron... Have we finally seen the last of him?
We can but hope.
Duvido.
Those red women. What the heck was their deal?
Could they be the ones behind all this? The same ones who put those soldiers in Faria in a trance?
What? Those brainless things? Either way, they've done a runner with the Renaissance. Damn it, that's the second time now!
É a
Whatever's
segunda
stolen
vez
from us,
agora. Não é
we'll
déjà
steal
vu.
it back. The future's ours to protect. And right now, those things are what's standing in our way. We can head them off at Rena.
Did you say Rena?
Volron mentioned a master of theirs holed up in the motherland somewhere.
If that monstrous form's their true identity, I shudder to think who they take orders from.
Yeah. There's a good chance it's not human. That's for sure.
So this thing over on Rena, that's what's really behind all this, huh?
They have the Renaissance in their grasp already, so it's unlikely they'll have cause to return to Dana. I agree that Rena's our best shot.
Then we're agreed. Let's head back to the starship.
But
Okay.
seriously, I was not expecting Volron to actually be here.
He seemed to care not one whit about Renans or Danans.
Yeah, not in a good way like with us.
Tá, nosso objetivo é voltar pra nave, né? Eu queria ali, ó. Eu quero ir lá, ó. Pegar aqueles 3 cristalzinhos ali. Ó, vai ser uma caminhada até lá, viu, mano? Quê? Não. Tem que gravar na memória do celular. Quer dizer, tem que gravar na memória do chip.
Pois é, você sabe como é que grava na memória do chip?
Uai, você vai lá em contatos, deve ter. Você clica no contato que você quer, deve ter a opção de transferir para o chip.
Todos os contatos de um.
Não sei, tem que ver se tem a opção de um em um ou todos os contatos de uma vez. Posso ir para a esquerda.
No choice. A freezing chain between heaven and earth. Go about this. A wailing dance divine. Oh, they really don't give up, do they? Make it break. Don't leave.
All yours, Kisara!
Too fast!
Stand back! I'll trip it up.
Here!
I feel the power flowing through me.
You'll be... Be able to help even more people now.
Yeah, I guess I will.
Hey, what do you say we...
Don't get careless.
Don't tell me!
Chain between heaven and earth. A wailing dance divide.
It's like trying to keep up with a wolf.
Meteor storm. Radiant light. Here. Switch where you go. Do it. Hurricane strike. Firmament render. Arrow squall. A chain between heaven and earth. None shall escape my judgment.
to me!
You make me angry.
I'll take you all on. Ha! Flare Demolition! Hurricane Strike!
Firmament render.
How about this?
Arrow squall. Firmament render. Arrow squall. A chain with magic is there. Divine savior. Am I on a roll or what?
Well,
Vocês
look who's in a bright and
transcendentes.
shiny mood.
É, não veio dos itens que veio da última vez. Aí, veio um cristal regenerativo, só que de level 3, cara. Bosta. Eu queria um de level 5. Tá, vamos ver se a gente consegue ignorar os inimigos até a saída. Tá um shortzinho embaixo. Uma calcinha calção. Tipo calcinha box, tá ligado?
What the? When did it get pitch dark all of a sudden?
The lights are all out. Think it has something to do with the explosion back in the Forbidden Zone? Doe?
You two.
Faria, Avakir. Thank goodness you're safe.
Avakir filled me in about everything. About how I ambushed you all.
She doesn't remember a thing, so she really was being controlled.
He told me about Tarnigan, too. Is it true?
What difference does it make? What's done is done.
Está feito, está feito.
Stop casting me off, just for once!
Faria, not now. It can wait. Dohalim, Lenegus is in grave peril.
So I can see.
It's the city's core reactor. It's damaged. Some of the basic systems we've managed to keep online, but complete restoration's still a way off.
You're an elite technician, though. You can fix it, right?
If so, then what's the problem?
Panic's begun to set in among the citizens. Until now, whenever something like this happened, the Sovereign would issue a decree. But this time, not so much as a peep. Any longer, and we run the risk of riots breaking out before we can get things back up and running.
Forget the Sovereign. I doubt you'll be hearing from him anytime soon.
What's that supposed to mean? Do you know
Isso
something I
deveria
don't?
significar. Você sabe algo que eu não
Suffice
sei?
it to say, the Sovereign isn't the kind of ruler we thought he was. That is, if he ever even existed, which is looking doubtful at this stage.
Are you out of your mind? Why, if people knew that a lord such as yourself was whispering such blasphemy, they'd...
There's no time to explain now. It sounds like we need to find a way to keep Lenegus from spiraling out of control.
We need to stop that riot.
But how do we do that?
Riots feed on discontent and unrest, right? So if we want to keep the peace, we just need to put people's minds at ease.
At ease? Like by letting them hear directly from someone they trust. That's it. Who's the highest-ranking person in Lenegis right now?
Lenegis wouldn't have a next in line. After all, you said the Sovereign rules over everyone directly, right?
Correct. The closest thing to an authority figure would be a lord. And the only one left is... Ah. Very well then.
Pensamento lento, hein, do Rally.
Avakir, you mentioned a few facilities were still online. Which ones?
Why hasn't the Sovereign said anything?
Please, won't somebody explain what's going on?
Is it over? What's going to happen to all of us?
Heed me now, fellow Renans of Lenegis. It is I, Lord Dohalim Ilkaris of Eldaman and Sia.
Look, up there! It's Lord Dohalim!
Hold on! He should be in the crown contest! Shouldn't he? Why isn't the Sovereign talking to us?
The Sovereign is seeing to other matters right now. In my capacity as Lord, I speak to you in his stead. You're afraid. As people so often are when faced with the unknown. I hope you'll allow me to put your fears to rest. The city's core reactor has experienced a malfunction. However, we have our top engineers attending to the matter, and things will soon be back to normal. I know that you feel abandoned, perhaps more scared and alone than ever before. But I ask you all to keep one thing in mind. You are Lenegis, not the Lords and Sovereign. The solidarity of its citizens is the mortar that holds it together. If we don't allow ourselves to be distracted by our differences, if we put our hearts and minds together and stand as one, I am confident we will find new hope. I would be honored to stand with you. Not as a person of loftier rank, but as another human being among many. I hope that you'll lend me your strength, for if we can persevere as one, I know a bright tomorrow awaits.
Falou bonito.
Your speech seems to have done the trick. Looks like the city won't be descending into chaos after all.
I only pray the relief will tide the city over for the time being.
What you said earlier, about the Sovereign possibly not even existing, was it true?
It's still too premature to say with any certainty, but I believe so. This whole time, this world we've been fed was a lie, built on nothing but falsehoods.
But it can't all have been...
I can believe it. After everything I saw in the Forbidden Zone, what they did to Faria, it's the only explanation that makes sense.
But what about hierarchy, Avakir? Authority? The very foundations of Renan society? How can we live without someone to guide us?
I'd say we found someone capable of doing just that, wouldn't you?
You? You can't be serious.
I have business I must take care of first. But once everything is over, I shall return. But not as your sovereign, nor as a leader the likes of which the people here are used to, I think.
But how else do you propose to rule?
I'm not sure yet. All I have is a feeling that here in Lenegis, a new dawn is on the verge of breaking. One in which people won't be judged by birthright or on the power of their astral arts, but on other things. More important things. Things like, oh, I don't know, musical talent, for example.
When I bumped into you after all those years, I said you were no different. But I was wrong. Truth is, you were always different. I feel like maybe now I can finally begin to accept Turnagain's death. To see a future.
You go finish whatever it is you've got to do. I'll hold down the fort here in Lenegus till you get back.
Thank you.
I guess you're not going to make it to Menancia for the foreseeable future, huh?
Indeed. Forgive me.
The people of Elda Menancia can look after themselves just fine. It's the ones here on Lenegus who need someone to guide them. Besides, with you leading the people here, it'll help spread the idea of coexistence beyond Menancia's borders that much faster.
Sounds like you're in it for the long haul.
How could I not be, after the second chance that I've been granted? From this day forth, I shall dedicate myself to the future inhabitants of this world. Though the memories of the departed shall remain forever in my heart.
Remember, you're going to be leading the people here, not ruling them.
True enough. Whatever would I do without you, Kisara?
With or without her, I suspect you're gonna have your hands full when the time comes. We should be heading back to the ship. Business on Rena awaits.
Beleza. Onde é que tá... Dohalim? A gente não usa o Dolarim, né? Mas a gente aprende mesmo assim as coisas pra ele.
Looks like the people of Lenegus can rest easy.
I couldn't have done it without your words of encouragement, Law.
Hey, you're the one who made the speech.
I think everybody can share the credit here.
Ali. Tá, goma de pêssego. Acabou, isso daqui não interessa comprar. Goma de limão. Não, a gente não precisa mais de goma de limão, até porque a gente já tem a goma de uva. É isso. Opa! Deixa eu ver se tem coisa pra forjar arma aqui.
Have to spend so much?
Por que não, né? Mais espólios, impulso. Eu vou colocar de ataque.
This shall suffice.
Tá. Não. Tá, é lá do outro lado. Galera, quando chegar lá do outro lado, vamos encerrar o vídeo. Foi bem interessante, cara. Foi bem interessante essa gameplay aqui. A gente ficou sabendo de muita coisa. Nossa, você lembra de uns 2 vídeos atrás, eu aqui? Ah, quando a gente chegou nesse local, eu sem paciência. Como eu falei pra você no começo do vídeo, mano, eu tô jogando isso há mais de 2 dias sem parar. Quer dizer, sem parar assim umas 8, 9 horas por dia. Tá ligado? Eu acho que eu tinha chegado num certo limite de gameplay, tá ligado? Eu precisava descansar um pouco, cara. Já tinha uns 2 dias, tem uns 2 dias que eu não jogo esse jogo. Então foi bom, foi muito bom parar um pouquinho. Ficou mais tranquilo, sabe? Hoje é o que? Hoje é dia 18. É 17 ou 18 hoje. Eu tenho um vídeo já programado por YouTube até o dia 26 de setembro. Eu posso dizer com certeza que esse foi o maior jogo com gameplay que eu já fiz para esse canal. A nave não tá aqui, a nossa nave. De qualquer forma, galerinha, vamos encerrar por aqui. A gente já tá com 56 minutos aqui, não vamos fazer o vídeo mais longo, até porque quando chegar ali vai rolar treta. A nossa nave não tá aqui. Então a gente se vê no próximo vídeo. Beleza? Até a próxima.